Hi, everyone. I am Mary Kate Luke. I'm the marketing specialist here at Hasmark Publishing International, and I am joined today by my co-host, Jen Gibson. She is the Director of Marketing and Publishing with Hasmark, and we are here today to talk about a really incredible book. This is a fascinating study into the world of project management. We're so excited to be talking about this today. The title is Sun Tzu's Art of War in the Battlefield of Project Management. And I'd like to introduce you to Puneet. We're so excited to be talking about this book today. So welcome. We're happy to be chatting with you.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much
Now, like
for
I
having me.
mentioned, this book is extremely unique in its nature, and the process of the way that it should be read effectively for the reader is very sort of special and important to the way that the book is structured. Can you explain kind of your idea creation and how this book sort of came to be for you?
Sure. So thanks for having me, Mary. Uh, if I have to tell you the idea about this specific book, I think I should explain the idea for the whole trilogy, what it is. Somewhere 11 years ago, I started to work on a idea that art of war, the whole of art of war, on its entirety, if applied to project management, can bring a lot of value to a project manager's life. The perspective, the day-to-day routine, and also uh, in the long-term horizon, which a project manager has to plan out, has to look for. Okay, so I divided this whole project into three parts. First was to establish a hypothesis. Yes, there indeed is similarity between the art of war and project management. And what I compared art of war was with a currently prevalent project management standards, international standards, which is project management body of knowledge published by PMI Project Management Institute based in USA. I used to be certified project manager by this institute, but I have given up my certificate many years ago. Okay, so I established that hypothesis. I tested out the market and the readers, gauged their reaction and acceptance. So essentially, what I came to conclusion after talking to a few of the readers, not few, almost all of the readers, that there indeed was meaning in pursuing this project because none of the reader disliked the book. They didn't dislike the concept. They didn't dislike the book. Okay, it helped them to develop their thinking. So 2 years, few years down the line, maybe I took a break of 1 year or so. Then I started to work on interpretation of art of war, line by line. Each line of Sun Tzu was interpreted in the word of project management for project managers. Uh, a colleague of mine says that I channelized Sun Tzu's ideas in for this word. I think channel being a channel of why of such a person is may not be a right word. I just try to do my part in order to bring art of war to our word, my profession, and to closer to my professional colleagues. Okay. So it took me a couple of years' time. I took two people's help to do the initial research, and then slowly I developed the idea. Then how to apply this? What was the basic idea? Not idea. What was the basic theme? Why this book is required? What was my reason to write this book? The only reason I wanted to write this book is many times the project managers and the project management uh, family, all of us get lost in which methodology to choose. Should we choose PMBOK? Should we choose PMI? Should we choose Prince 2 or ISO or CMM or CMI? Which one? Should we choose safe or extreme programming or agile or which one? What we forget is what is the context of project managers. This is the idea I try to bring into this book. It starts in the introduction itself when I explain the nature of projects, how how nature of project is now how there are many elements that make the projects uncertain, unpredictable, and how a project manager actually has to keep context in mind to ensure that the project management system equilibrium remains in the organization.
That's great. Thank you. Why is this work and the teaching so important for others to absorb and use in their lives as project managers and business professionals?
I think it comes back to my concern about we losing, including me, many times we losing the context of our own environment in which we operate. We have to keep the context in mind. And there is another thing which art of war is about. War is no, we are always at war. We are always at war. If we are not at war, we are preparing for war. Same is the case with companies. We are always in the battlefield of market share, acquiring more and more market share, more and more market share. If you are not acquiring market share, we have to prepare to acquire market share in the future. Okay, so this is my basic thinking that I want to bring to my project management world.
Wonderful.
That's all I want to say about it.
Wonderful. And during the writing process, were there sort of any obstacles that you ran into? And if so, how did you overcome those? And along those lines, I was hoping you could also just sort of maybe chat about the way that the book should be read. It's very fascinating and unique in the way that it needs to be read between two pages. So I was hoping maybe you could touch on that as well.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it up. Okay. So obstacles. Yes, how to structure the book. That was my first obstacle. And of course, bringing that war strategies and those terminologies line by line, concept by concept into a technical way of speaking where the project manager will also understand in an easy, simple to understand language. Sometimes it can be jargons, but at least a professional should be in a position to understand and relate to the art of war book as such. Okay, coming back to the structure, how it should be read. Okay, the book is structured in such a way that of course it has introduction. It introduces the reader uh, to the very nature of projects, how uncertain they are. Uh, Misalignments can happen anytime. People can be unpredictable. I've listed on many factors to this effect in the introduction chapter itself. Then I talk about, within this introduction, I talk about how project management triangle, where it's equilateral triangle, where one side scope, time, and cost, and in order for one side to change, all the other two sides have to be in order to ensure that the system remains in equilibrium. Okay, but it's not so straightforward. It's not process driven. Okay, it is based on human unpredictability. We have to look after stakeholders' expectations. We have to look after the team. We have to look at the implications. There are stakeholders are people. Team are stakeholders. People, my senior people are stakeholders. CEO is a stakeholder. If his market share is impacted because of let's say scope, or one factor like cost, I cannot go to my CEO saying that I have to reduce the scope because the reduced cost. It cannot happen. There has to be some business justification. There has to be some kind of practical way forward, where market share, of course, initially it's impacted, but there is a plan how we will recapture the market share. Okay, so this context has to be in place. So coming back to the core of the book, once this introduction is set, the core of the book is designed in such a way that I read Art of War, Sun Tzu, and then I read the interpretation of what Art of War says. Okay, it can be read this way. First reading, it can be read just the Art of War, or one can simply read only the interpretation of art of war. But I think it will make more sense to the reader if he reads first this page, then the right page. That's the reason I am not in a position to offer this book in Kindle format, because both the pages have to be read in conjunction with each other. I'm still working on the format, how it can best offered in Kindle format, as in ebook format. And what will happen is I'll not be surprised if a reader first reads Art of War here, then reads project management interpretation here, then realizes no, it may not make sense. What I'm saying, it may not make sense. Maybe to the reader, this sentence makes sense in a different way, which is okay, as long as this book helps a reader in help. Art of War helps a project manager in some way to improve his output, then it's a success. Okay, talking about success, I was just talking to one of my colleague day before yesterday. He was reading my book. He said he found it thought provoking. Then my reaction was, that's only success criteria. It should change. It should force you to think there are possibilities. Yeah.
Who do you hope resonates most with this work?
I think people who have handled complex projects and who have handled I think all the projects are complex these days. We have global teams, we have different competing expectations. I think people who have experienced project managers, it'll resonate with them most. But there are people who like philosophy. It will help them to develop a different perspective. There are fresh project managers like I, as a young professional, I used to read a lot professional books. It will help them, but I'll advise the younger readers that just don't take it literally. Try to absorb as much you can and try keep your project's context in mind. Nothing in this book should be taken literally. It is a complement to the existing knowledge. It is not an exclusive knowledge.
Definitely. And I like that you mentioned that young people can pick this book up, and I think that it has the power to stand the test of time. So it's something they can carry with them sort of through their years in being a leader,
yes,
in business, and referring back to it.
Correct. You said it right.
Yeah, definitely. Now, why was this the right time to sort of release this book out into the world? And did you know that you always wanted to be an author and write on this topic?
No. Completing this book is a gift to me. I mean, I never planned to write a book like this, not in 10 years ago. I would have never imagined. My command over English is, English is a second language to me. Okay. Then I cannot even write a single page. I don't know how I wrote a whole 5 books by now. It's a gift to me. Why right time? I think right time was 2-3 years ago. It's just that I didn't get enough larger chunks of time to finish it off. Just finished it off, then I am able to release it now.
What do you want readers to take away from this book?
There is one thing called wisdom balance, and I introduced this book. In this framework, what I am proposing is, although we have a project management triangle, a concept of project management triangle, which we as project managers use a lot to communicate, to manage the expectations of stakeholder. What I propose in my book is this project management triangle is so dependent on project manager knowledge and skills that if the project management leadership It's not one person, it's a project manager, senior managers, team leads within the team, and the whole project management leadership. If they don't apply their knowledge and skills to the context in which they operate, the equilibrium of the system can be disturbed pretty easily. Okay. One thing that I want readers to take away from this book is the context. Never to forget the context in which you operate. Okay. And the only, as I said before earlier, the only success criteria I say is if you think that this book has influenced your thinking, the way you do look at your own profession, your project manager as their profession, I think that's a success.
Absolutely. Now, how can people get a hold of a copy of the book when it launches? Where will it be available?
Launched, I mean, it will start shipping from mid of March onwards. The pre-orders are open, and people can go to book specific website, book2liftoff.com. I'll send you the link, book2liftoff.com. They can go there, and currently I'm running an offer. If you want to buy it for your team, 5 copies, there's 5% discount. If you want to buy it for 10 copies for a whole team, 15% discount. And also I'm offering my 3 special reports, unpublished reports with these books and additional 3 books. In all, I think the discount, the offer comes to be around, the bonuses come to be around $45 to $50 or something that come with this book initial offer in pre-order phase.
Excellent. Where can people find you and learn more about you online?
I have a website, puneetkuthyala.com, and I'm available on LinkedIn too.
Awesome.
LinkedIn is most active. I'm most active on LinkedIn.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for chatting with us today, Puneet. We're so excited for this book to be launching and for it to really resonate with so many different types of leaders, whether that be project management or even beyond. So thank you for your work and for writing this book, and we just can't wait for it to be out into the world.
Thank you for having me. Wonderful conversation.
Thank you.